Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. What is today? July 12th, I believe. This is explanation attached to the last message from yesterday, the 11th. Actually, message number 1200, my 1200. Actual message number 1200, not number 1200 on the blog. So 1200 message. July 11th, 2018. You can read along with it. I have not even read it, so I wrote it down. That's all I've done thus far. So let's see what it means, what the meaning I get. Reclusive domain, spoken of before. Okay, that's not what was mentioned in the message years ago. Reclusive domain, spoken of before, to cleanse thy soul to the core. So I assume that we're speaking of heaven. Infinite queries, or infinite questions to all. Infinite queries, shall all be answered. So all questions shall be answered. We're definitely talking about heaven. All truths put forth by man slurred. So all the truths that man say, all the things that man kind of said have been truth, all been slurred. They've been distorted. Joyless reprobate, metaphysical deceit. Because of the slurring of truth, God's truth by man. So many out here in the world are joyless reprobates, suffering from metaphysical deceit. A lot of people out there saying they're metaphysical, they're spiritual, but it's not the truth. There's plenty of people out there like this. Nastame, Eastern philosophies, Christian philosophies, Muslim philosophies, all these religions and these non-religions, they're full of deceit, so you gotta be careful. I've caught demons in 3 of them thus far. Each of you can't wash the other one's feet. And the important thing in the Bible, Jesus humbled himself. Anybody who's out there teaching, guiding, be humble, humble themselves at what point of washing their servants' feet, or their followers' feet, their flock's feet. But each of these people, these joyless reprobates, follow them or attempt to guide and deceive, they're not worthy enough to wash the other one's feet. So they're lower than the ones that are trying to lead astray. They're trying to lead. So again, he's been calling these people out a lot. Do you think to presume your innocent heart? In other words, you think you can fool God? While from my path you did depart? And that's just, again, the people that follow for this stuff too, not just the ones that are leading them astray. So, do you think you can fool me while you're doing what you're doing? I don't think so. To thy scattered bodies go. Well, that's interesting, because that was the name of a book, actually. First science fiction book, fantasy book that got me hooked on that genre back in college, by Philip Jose Farmer. It's interesting because it deals with reincarnation to a world where everybody who's ever existed is reincarnated, continuously reincarnated. So it's interesting. Not saying that this is referring to reincarnation here. But to thy scattered bodies go, far from the ebb and flow, meandering in darkness, lost and alone, doing all things I can't condone. So this is referring to we're scattered around the world, wandering aimlessly. To thy scattered bodies would go, far from the ebb and flow, which is the ebb and flow of heaven, from heaven, the spiritual ebb and flow. Meandering and wandering and aimlessly in darkness, lost and alone. It's going to refer to the ones that were in the mist, who have all been shepherded up. Because that last message, they mentioned that the mists or the fields, the mists have been plowed, all plowed. It's telling me that they've already sent everybody to the different various gateways. They've done, not clearing out the mist, but sending everybody where they need to go. So I don't know if this is an addendum to that or not, but it certainly refers to the physical scattering of bodies and ebb and flow and wandering around, so many people lost and alone, seeking answers in physical things or drugs or booze, whatever. Doing all things I can't condone. Twisting truths to fit your schemes. Not just the people that are deceiving you, but people themselves. Twisting the truth to fit into how they want to live. That's like changing a law or perception of a law, physical world law, so that it fits how you want to live. So it makes it okay. So, and they do, a lot of preachers and pastors do that too. Your prosperity theology, they twist the truth around so make it okay. So you feel it's okay to go do this and pursue that and get super wealthy, and it's okay to make that your focus. No. Or to pursue that, and the fact that you get all those attainments and wealth, God loves you and that's a reward. No. Again, Jesus is the measuring stick. So twisting truths to fit your schemes. Nothing they see is as it seems. They're all deluded, deluding themselves and deluded by darkness. Tasks at hand for all to do. So everybody has a task. Yet their eyes set to blinded view. You're not looking for it. You're not paying attention to it. You're setting your eyes looking at your blind, your distorted views, or how you want to see things, which is not true. You who say, I shall ascend, in rapture shall surely descend. I've heard lots of people, oh, man, what did I do? Oh, Jesus is going to come and zap, he's here, and we're all going to be taken up in rapture. Guess again, not working quite that way. Those who believe that, saying, I shall ascend no matter what, and rapture shall surely descend. You're going to ascend like that, you shall surely descend. In the end, you may ascend to rapture once it's feeling you feel total euphoria once you get to heaven, but you're going to descend and suffer before that. You go through judgment before that. But what you think is all distortion. When you continue to allow abortion in this world, well, man, he's calling people out on abortion. Remember, I didn't do abortion because I'm a man, but I've talked Angelica Marie's mother into that. Although it was, I carried that guilt forever, for a long time. So Angelica Marie said no. It was her mother's final decision. She's ultimately responsible. So let's see if he addresses that. Children lost ascend to heaven, so you don't have to worry about that. Safe from clutches of the seven fallen. To learn, as though in heaven, to learn and grow under my domain. So they learn and grow in the Lord's domain. As Angelica Marie does, I found out. That she was by Jesus' side, and he mentored her, tutored her himself. Never to suffer any pain. So they never suffered any pain. They didn't suffer the pain of birth. Guilt and shame, a burden borne upon the hearts of those forlorn. And I can attest to that, trust me. Guilt and shame. And I didn't even have the abortion. Guilt and shame, a burden borne upon the hearts of those forlorn, those who went through with it, the mothers. Know thee this, each child I save was through conception a gift I gave. So there's no conception without a soul, and that's a gift. If there's conception, that's a gift from God. Guardian angels each becomes, and I was told this years ago, in time to remove that which numbs. So in time, they become your guardian angel. So they can help you to heal, remove that which numbs the guilt and the shame. Mothers, fathers learn too late what they lost upon that date. So as they get older in life and they realize what a mistake they made, the regrets, the guilt, the shame, they realize that too late. But learn this. Now, there's some of you out there watching this, and many others that have had abortions or even miscarriages as well. The Lord pre-knows all that stuff's going to happen. He pre-knows the choice you're going to make. That's why He makes it and says, hey, this person, I'm going to impregnate this person, but they're going to have an abortion. They're not going to keep it, or they're going to lose it, miscarry it. That's okay, because He makes them a guardian angel. Angelica Marie was conceived never to be. She was never supposed to be born. She's going to be. He knew it was going to be aborted. That was going to occur. He made her a guardian angel, my guardian angel. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She's with me all the time. And she's a brat. She knows that in a good way. So mothers, fathers learned too late the mistake they made. The choice they made was wrong. What they lost upon that date of the abortion. Final choice of mothers to make. Interesting. That's what Angelica Marie said to me. I carried that guilt. Says, "Oh, it's my. I talked her into it." So I said, "No, it was her mother's final decision, and ultimately, it is the woman's final decision. They don't have a gun to their head to do this, to have an abortion. It's their final decision, for whatever reason, or causes, or things that guide them to that final decision. Ultimately, it's their choice, and they have to take responsibility of it for it first, and ownership of it before they can begin to heal and let it go." Just like with addictions or anything else wrong that we committed, alcoholism, you name it, you have to acknowledge that first and take ownership of it. Then the journey to healing begins. So final choice of mothers to make, born of earth or heaven to wake. So those choices are, let the child be born of earth, or to heaven, to awaken, to wake. Dire need to cleanse thy souls, to empty the contents of canopic bowls. So people, the women that do this, and me, the men who talk them into it, we have a dire need to cleanse our souls, to empty the contents of our canopic bowls. And again, the canopic bowl is, for example, in Egyptian tombs, they took out the innards and the organs and put them in these bowls, and taken out the brain, parts of the brain, put it in another bowl, urns. Those are the canopic bowls. So our body is our canopic bowl. Our emotions, our heart, our minds are our canopic bowl. That we carry all that stuff inside. Not the physical, but our emotional baggage. So we have a dire need to cleanse thy souls, to empty the contents of our canopic bowls. Forgiveness given before the deed, as I just mentioned. Why then does thy heart so bleed? So if He's already forgiven you, why are you making yourself suffer? Forgive yourself. Why are you letting your heart bleed in agony and guilt and shame? Offer it up to the Lord. Know that you're forgiven and forgive yourself. Let go. Again, it comes back to, if God's forgiven you for something, why would you not forgive yourself? Why do you hang on to it? Forgive yourself as well. It's the devil, again, wants you to hang on to all that stuff because he has control. Then he's got something to control you with, to keep you from moving, ascending upwards, or moving forward. So forgive yourself. Or if you had a miscarriage, blame yourself for that. It was not meant to be. Don't blame yourself. Don't carry guilt. Don't carry shame. Don't carry that pain. Know that they're your guardian angels. Don't talk to them. And if you had a name already decided upon, that's the name they're given. If you had a name that was in your mind or your heart that you weren't even consciously aware of, the Lord knows you're going to choose, that's the name they're given. If you don't have a name, never had a name, you weren't even aware of it, or just thought about it, then they're given the name. Penelope gave Angelica Marie her name Angelica, which is angel-like, and she took Marie in honor of the house where she was conceived by Grandma Marie. Okay, why then does thy heart so bleed? Let go the pain, and you shall receive. That which you're told, they only deceive. So let go the pain, you shall receive. You shall receive solace, comfort, and feel that forgiveness. You let it go and forgive yourself. That which you're told, oh, abortion, you did this, you killed, you're going to hell. Just like a suicide, oh, you're going to hell. But that which you're told, they, as in darkness, either directly in mind or through other people saying it, they only deceive you. Don't pay attention to them. Now, you want to be contrite, you want to be sorrowful, you want to be repentant, and know that it was a wrong decision. But again, know that their child is your guardian angel and that you are forgiven. So don't carry it with you. Don't just cast it off like, oof, I can do it anytime I want because I know I'm going to be forgiven. No, don't do that either. Learn from your mistakes. It was actually the beginning of my spiritual journey over many years. And my Grandma Marie helped with that, set me on that course, and the Mother Mary. I know the choices you make long before your own soul does wake. So before you're born, he already knows, has the path planned out for you, just like he does for each day, for your entire life. He already knows the path. I've talked about this. He already knows all the choices you're going to make. Remember the example I used about the road map, the interstate highway. That's the path he wants for you. All the exits, all the possible detours off of there, or all possible choices that you could make, and he knows which ones you're going to make. It's already done. That's what this is talking about. Long before your own soul does wake, to your journey I did send, to walk amongst foe and friend. So he sent your soul on this journey, on your journey, to walk amongst those who are enemies and those who are friends. Some to teach, some to aid. All on earth are heaven made. Everyone here is heaven made. Everything here is heaven made. The earth itself is heaven made. Everything everywhere is heaven made. Each a purpose, this be true. Each have a purpose, this is true. Seek my face, I'll show you. But if you don't seek his face, you ain't gonna see what it is he's trying, your purpose is. Oh, why am I here? I don't know why am I here. Like, ask him, you'll receive. Seek it, and you'll find it. But if you're too focused on other things, you're never gonna see it. I know people I've told their purpose to, and they still don't believe it. No, I don't think that's it. I think, okay. Now, I don't mean this egotistically, but that's like, they argue with me. That's like elementary school kid arguing with Einstein about relativity. And I'm not saying I'm an Einstein by any way, shape, or form, but I know a heck of a lot more than they do. This darkness trying to interfere. I'll let it finish.
Hi everybody, thanks for calling. Sorry I can't take your call right now.
Again, when this happens, this shows you how important this is. I used to just stop it, start over again, but no, not anymore. Just let them do the little attempt, and then move on. Okay. Seek my face, I'll show you. Ask for answers, I do give. Not the ones so you can live. So he's not going to give the answers you want to hear. The ones that give you permission to live as you want to live. The ones you need to hear. But people say, oh, I pray and ask all the time. And I use this example of one woman I had met. I forget who I met her, but she was at the same church I went to, and she was asking me advice. And, oh, I'm asking the Lord, keep asking for the answer to this prayer, and I'm not getting it. And I know he just sent me to her just for that purpose. It's the only time I ever talked to her. I said, what was it you praying on? He says, well, I get divorced and this property, I want to buy it and develop it. And I'm not getting an answer. Well, let's explain to her, if you're looking for an answer, like for her, she was looking for permission to do that. And the answer was no. He says, you're not getting that answer, then it's not the answer that he's telling you. Don't do it. And then she just said, well, maybe I just won't buy it, but I'll develop it. I'm like, how can you do that? So, I'll think about it. And I never heard from her again. So I know for a fact she didn't do that. She just kept going on until she'd get permission from somebody else that would tell her, yes, go ahead and do it. But clearly, that's not what he wanted to do. So again, so many people go to a church, they gravitate to a church, and they'll find a church, I like this church, because the church that tells them it's okay to do this, this, and this. So that's the church I want. No. So many pastors, most pastors out there to some degree, priests and so forth, evangelists, they tell you what you want to hear. So you can keep coming to them, keep giving them more money. Don't ask a question if you don't want to hear the answer. Okay. Ask for answers I do give, not the ones so you can live. A life for which you weren't created. Why do you think your sadness goes unabated? Well, you're never happy. You can't find that true happiness. And you're seeking another thing, drugs, booze, sex, partying, bad relationships, money, fame, fortune. It doesn't get rid of that gnawing inner sadness deep down inside. Because you sought a life for which you weren't created. Answers that you weren't given. Well, you're not getting answers, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. Well, if you're just going to do it anyways, don't ask for an answer. Why do you think your sadness goes unabated? Because you pursue a life for which you weren't created. All these ones that seek fame and fortune, and then they end up committing suicide. They get mixed up in drugs or booze, and they just so it's sad. Maybe you weren't created to be famous. And Jesus became famous, not because he wanted it. He just wanted humility and to share God's word and serve his Father. Mankind made him famous. Joy resides not in receiving. Truth of God, none are conceiving. Nobody can conceive the absolute truth of God. Blind fools persuade the sullen masses. Again, these false prophets, false evangelists, people on the internet, metaphysical people, these psychics, blah, 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 blah. Well, the most recent was, now she's getting divorced, was the New Jersey medium, whatever. Hobnobbing with the famous, having a TV show, showing her gifts. And she may have a vague gift, but she's exploiting it incorrectly, not using it. So blind fools who persuade the sullen masses. More and more as each day passes. More and more people are being tricked and deceived, which is all taught about in the Bible. Rest assured, few do see the truth that is me, Jesus. By the time of final moon, not later, but very soon. So that's telling me not far off in the future, but more soon, against the final moon, which be of this triad, is in January, so I'm leaning towards that. Again, I mentioned there's some more, another group in early to mid 2020s. But he's saying by the time of the final moon, not later, but very soon. That's pointing towards the end of January, but I'm not sure. By this time, I'll have taken those I need, from whose bodies souls were freed. So, ones from the mist, from this world, he's taking them up, because he has need of them, or the time he's taken them before the true believers so they don't suffer. I have taken those on need from whose bodies souls were freed. To chosen I sent, I give my shield. All his chosen that he sent here, me and so many others, I give my shield to lay upon, increase the yield. To lay upon, increase the yield. In other words, to put upon ourselves. He's given us a shield to put on ourselves, to lay it upon ourselves. Therefore, to increase the yield of spirit, the yield of those we're helping to save. Armor of light. This is an armor of light none can perceive, so no one can see it. Angelic help you each receive, and we each have angelic help around us. Again, I just got that angel feather. I was just sitting, not here, but in my room, watching Netflix. There's tickle. Brushed it off, tickle. Brushed it off, tickle. What is that? No bugs? What? And then this white feather just trickled down here, like about that big. That big. It's like, wow. And there's nothing, and then it has a feather. Those of you who will remain on Earth, speaking of the chosen, that will remain, to aid the believers in their rebirth. They're going to guide them to these places where they can be protected by angels and taken up in due time. They'll be here to aid you. They shall hear my voice upon your ear. Speaking to them, shall hear my voice and the believers upon your ear, and thus remove all the fear that darkness seeks to plant in thee. Little they know, little they see. Speaking of the darkness. The darkness is going to try to put that fear in you. Now he's speaking specifically to me. Tim, you'll know the time and place when you'll suddenly behold my face. So he said he'll tell me the time and date and time of my passing. Now he's telling me that I'll know the place too. You'll know the time and place when you'll suddenly behold my face. Now this is really important now because that's twice darkness interfering. So let's wait.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for calling. Sorry I can't take your call right now. Please leave your name and number, and I'll give you a call as soon as I can. Have a great day. God bless. Night-night.
Okay. When you'll suddenly behold my face, upon a field not seen by man, but being a crucial part of plan. So that suddenly behold his face upon a field not seen by man, so that means in some free of his body in spirit form. I'll behold his face. That's what I'm saying, not seen by man. And I'll see it for being a crucial part of plan, of God's holy plan. And it goes on to talk about me living lives one after another, serving me and Holy Mother. She sees within where dwells your truth. That's for everybody. As it was in spirit's youth. Distortions lift as you sleep. So he's healing me, cleansing me as I sleep. All you've sown, we shall reap. All the seeds I've sown, everywhere I've gone, they're reaping it. They're harvesting it. Souls you've touched with my words throughout the span of sacred thirds. So that's everybody who's watching videos, reading these messages on the blog, or I talk to one-on-one, any means of communication I've shared these words with. They're going to reap you. They're going to harvest you. They've helped you, whether you realize it or not. Been growing inside you. Souls you've touched with my words throughout the span of sacred thirds, which is the span of mankind's existence here. No more drama to trouble thee. Peaceful travels gift from me. So I have no more drama is going to be in my life. It'll be peaceful travels. Set thy course for soon to know. In other words, prepare myself for soon to know. I'll share the place you shall go. So, in other words, get ready because he's going to tell me where he wants me to go. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Wonderful message. So that's the explanation of that. Took longer than I thought, so thank you for bearing with me, and I hope that helped you all in some way, shape, or form. So, peace of Christ, and God bless.